ghetto, not the place you would imagine methods of global dominance to spring from. But it was in the ghettos across the United States that Saul Alinsky would fine-tune tactics of civil disobedience that would one day be employed by New World Order puppet Barack Hussein Obama.
Resolutions of ideal problems always carry in their wake another problem.
Alinsky's Rules for Radicals is the left's playbook, chock full of creeping tactics used by scheming politicians and Soros-fueled millennial generation groups like Black Lives Matter.
All lives matter, and I'm a black guy.
Hell-bent on tearing the fabric of American society apart.
The anti-cop rhetoric that is sweeping the United States of America, fueled by this group, some of the vulgar, vile, vicious rhetoric that's coming out, talking about killing cops.
Alinsky's albeit deceptively noble attempt to create a system to reward the have-nots with the power and surplus of the haves would prove to be just as useful for the New World Order sycophants to achieve an uprooting of American values and an overpass of the United States constitutional foundation to be replaced by totalitarianism disguised as compassionate socialism. These tactics simply needed the perfect charismatic turncoat to steer them. Enter Barack Obama.
All of us want to give our president every tool necessary to do this. And all of us were willing to do that in this bill. And anyone who says otherwise is lying to the American people.
Saul Alinsky died decades before a young pre-Senate Barack Obama would spend 3 years following in Alinsky's footsteps as a community organizer. In 2009, the National Review stated, Obama's mentors from his Chicago days studied at a school Alinsky founded, and they taught their students the philosophy and methods of one of the first community organizers. Saul Alinsky wrote in Rules for Radicals, as an organizer, I start from where the world is, as it is, not as I would like it to be. That we accept the world as it is doesn't in any sense weaken our desire to change it into what we believe it should be. It is necessary to begin where the world is if we are going to change it to what we think it should be. That means working in the system. So what are some of the tactics being utilized in that system at accelerating degrees in the shaping of modern American society? Rule number 1, power is not only what you have, but what the enemy thinks you have. Obama and the nutjobs in the nation's capital would have us all believe that they have overwhelming support from the have-nots, while destroying the middle class, increasing the debt and welfare class to unsustainable levels, and projecting it all from their mainstream media bubble. Rule number 2, never go outside the expertise of your people. Basically, why bother engaging in a rational debate based on facts with your adversary? Simply bring up the despised policies or traditions and belittle them until they are crushed.
Less than loving expressions by Christians? I get concerned.
That's right. Let's criticize Christianity on Easter, you piece of crap.
That's a topic for another day.
Skipping to rule number 8, keep the pressure on. Never let up. Obama must say this rule to himself every morning. As one shoe drops, another one is ready to fall. Not in the manner of a leader responding to a country's pleas in the midst of a crisis, but more in the vein of a tyrant, quietly and charismatically creating them, while offering shallow direction as stale as his predecessor's rhetoric. And if just that sample of Saul Alinsky's Rules for Radicals wasn't enough, Alinsky even dedicated the left's playbook to Lucifer himself.
I suppose, given a choice, I think I would pick hell. The reason I'd pick hell is because that's where all the have-nots are.
John Bound for Infowars.com.
As a community moves towards despotism, respect is restricted to fewer people.
That's veteran Denver police officer Charles Jones IV smashing an unarmed suspect in the face 6 times.
Officers accused of using excessive force on a suspect and then trying to erase the evidence.
I'm observing what they're doing and they're arresting me. I don't understand what's going on.
A community rates low on an information scale when the press, radio, and other channels of communication are controlled by only a few people.
Does it raise ethical questions about the use of government money to produce stories about the government that wind up being aired with no disclosure that they were produced by the government?
How can you ask such a question?
What difference at this point does it make?
When a competent observer looks for signs of despotism in a community, he looks beyond fine words and noble phrases.
There are actions I have the legal authority to take as president that will help make our immigration system more fair and more just. Tonight, I'm announcing those actions.
What I say goes, see? I'm the law around here.
We came, we saw, he died.
Yes, in modern warfare, our military leaders are finding that words and ideas are highly effective weapons.
We just have to be repetitive about this. We need to do this every day of the week and just really brainwash people into thinking about guns in a vastly different way.
We are trained to deceive if we have to. You really don't have to trust me. You shouldn't trust me. In fact, by my actually participating in that, I will taint the news.
In communities of this kind, despotism stands a good chance.
The 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
Help this youth. Well, we're going to do everything we can to help
you. Resistance to tyrants is obedience to God. It's the Alex Jones Show, because there is a war on.